Hello students, welcome to Communication and Counseling. We are going to look at theories of counseling, and we shall look at the common theories that are used in counseling or applied in counseling, and we shall look at the humanistic approach. Humanistic therapists care most about present and helping their clients achieve their highest potential. Humanists believe in the goodness of all people and emphasize a person's self-growth and self-actualization. Humanist theories include client-centered, Gestalt, and existential therapies. So we look at one of the humanistic theories, and we'll look at one Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers is regarded as the father of the person-centered theory. He believed that all of us have the power to find the best solutions for ourselves and make appropriate changes in our lives. That is, clients can actually control their own destinies. The underpinning principle is empathy, and empathy refers to the counselor's ability to feel with the client and convey their understanding back to the client. The other underpinning principle is unconditional positive regard. This, in short, is respect. That is where the client feels safe when the counselor genuinely and positively accepts him as a person regardless of their story. Another principle is congruency, which refers to the counselor's genuine behavior and nonverbal language that is free from pretension. In short, they need to be honest. Let's look at the psychoanalytic theory, and the founder is Sigmund Freud, and Freud believed that humans are basically driven by unconscious motives and biological drives that mainly evolved during childhood. It emphasizes the lasting impact of early childhood events on adult personality and psychological development. Components of the human personality, according to Freud, human personality is made up of three integrating components. The id, that is, a person is born or is born at birth, and it consists of all human psychic energy and instincts. It operates according to the pleasure principle. That means it focuses on gaining pleasure at any cost in order to satisfy instinctual needs regardless of moral or logical reasons. The gratification needs is aimed at reducing tension and pain, and one grows, or rather as one grows up and interacts with his parents and significant others, one learns to mediate or balance between instincts caused and the demands made from the environment. Then there is the ego, which is the second component of personality. The ego is ruled by reality principle, where it reasons realistically and logically and formulates plans on how to satisfy needs in a socially acceptable manner or socially acceptable ways. Then the third is the superego. And it basically consists of learned principles of rights and wrong in order to control instinctual gratification and behavior. It includes a person's ideal moral code and strives not for pleasure but for perfection. When one follows the moral code, one gets rewards. Otherwise, one experiences punishments and feelings of guilt. And when the three components of the personality conflict with each other, a person will experience anxiety. According to Freud, there are two parts of the mind that, and Freud believed that human beings possess minds that are divided into two parts, the unconscious and the conscious. The conscious is by definition what we are aware of day to day, and is only a small portion of the total mind. while the unconscious is much larger than the conscious, and in fact most of one's psychological processes take place in the unconscious. And since the unconscious cannot be directly assessed, its contents must be understood and inferred by therapy. Then there's the Gestalt theory. The term Gestalt itself comes from the German word meaning form or shape. Gestalt therapy is a client-centered approach to psychotherapy that helps clients focus on the present and understand what is really happening in their lives right now, rather than what they perceive to be happening based on past experience. People interpret reality based on their experience with the environment, that's according to this theory, and they develop a sense of becoming and discovery. Then Gestalt therapy has certain principles, and according to its founder, Count Latner, there are 4 fundamental principles of the Gestalt therapy. One is the principle of holism, the principle of awareness, the figure and ground principle, and the principle of polarities. All these principles derive the work of what one does, and that leads to self-actualization. The principle of holism, according to the Gestalt therapy, takes into account the whole person, including the thoughts, the feelings, behavior, body sensation, and dreams. It says that people are linked to and influenced by their environment, and that all people strive towards growth and balance. The principle of awareness states that clients gain insight when they become aware of and they take responsibility for their own sensations, thoughts, and behaviors. Through therapy, it is believed that people can learn to discover feelings that may have been suppressed or masked by other feelings, and to accept and trust their emotions. Then there's the principle of figure ground. This theory of perception, it proposes that people make sense of the world around them by taking separate and distinct elements and combining them into a unified whole. When we look at something, we separate out and ground, a foreground figure and a background or a ground figure. So the foreground is referred to as the figure, and the background is the ground. The foreground is usually the main subject on which we will subsequently focus, while the background is generally what we need to ignore. The Gestalt principle of figure and ground simply means that therapists not only attend to what is figural, but for the client at the present, but also attends to what is on the ground, or what in the client's own experience, what we think is at the background. In the principle of polarities, it states that opposites sometimes define each other in an interdependent way. For example, we understand darkness as a contrast to light. One helps us understand the other. So this definition of opposites depend on each other like the two sides of a coin. Thus they are called interdependent. So the clients acknowledge the opposite of hidden aspects of a problematic situation or promote resolution of conflicts. Good and evil are another example, and with this definition, opposite polarities, where one pole gives definition to the other. The pole comes as a pair. The fundamental goal of Gestalt therapy is for clients to gain awareness. Only when clients become aware can they be positioned to make selective choices. So Gestalt therapy has certain techniques, and so it is practiced in the form of exercise and experiments. In general, exercises are somewhat or somehow the established practices that are designed to arouse action, emotion, or goals from the person in the therapy. The therapist and the person in therapy can therefore examine the result of the exercises in order to increase awareness and help the person understand their here and now of the experience. And an example is an empty chair technique that we use to ask the patient to look at it. Do they see it as empty, or do they look at it when it is occupied? So in this empty chair, the counselor addresses the empty chair. So patients started to learn or in therapy to understand, to address themselves and look at options and solutions to their own problems and issues. Then we look at behavior therapy. And behavior therapy is based on the belief that behavior is learned. For example, we know of the classic conditioning, especially that which was advanced by one Ivan Pavlov, research on dogs. And there was, of course, also the B.F. Skinner, who developed another behavioral therapy approach called the operant conditioning. He believed in the power of rewards to increase the likelihood of behavior and the punishments to decrease the occurrence of behavior. So the basic assumptions of this theory include the fact that we are born as blank slates. Everything we are as individuals, we have learned from other people or from our experiences in life. And the focus is on the scientific approach. The focus of this should be on the scientific approach to changing behavior. So, healthy behavior change requires social environment that reduces or eliminates attitudes and practices of discrimination, hostility, and other violation of human rights. So the starting point for any behavior change must be the felt needs of the individual and the community. Then we have the Egan's model. Egan developed what we call a skilled helper model of counseling, which provides a structured and solution-focused basis for counselors and psychotherapists. It is a three-stage model, and it consists of specific skills that the therapist uses to help the client to move forward. The three-stage model or framework is used in helping people solve their problems and in develop opportunities. And the goal of using this model is to empower people to manage their problems in living more efficiently and in developing unused opportunities more fully. Again, Egan's model aims to help the client address the three main questions, which are also the three key stages in the process. The first stage is the client needs to ask themselves what is going on. Number two, what do I want instead? And number three, how can I get what I want? So in stage one, what is going on? The counselor helps the clients to tell their story in their own words. And then in step two, what we call them blind spots, the counselor helps the client break through blind spots that prevent them from seeing themselves, their problems, and their unused opportunities. And of course, in this process, the patient is helped to select the preferred scenario. What do I need or what do I want instead of what I have now? And of course, this will include a discussion on what kind of situation the patient would like to be in as opposed to where they actually are. And so in this process, in the first step, we are looking at the possibility of the client should be helped to look at the possibility of a better future, to help the client use their own imaginations to spell out elements of a better future, and in this the client develops some hope. In the second stage of this test, we need to look at the change agenda. That is, help the client to choose realistic and challenging goals to manage the key problems and the unused opportunities that were identified in the first stage. And of course, the third stage is the stage to make commitments, pursuing substantial priorities or goals that will help the client to find the incentive that will make them persist until they get what they want and what they need. Stage 3 is the stage for action, or what we need, and in this the client needs to work on strategies for action. So they need to ask themselves, how do I get what I need or what I want? So this stage defines the work that needs to be done to translate priorities into accomplishments. And in the stage 1 of 3, the possible action, here the clients need to see that there are many different ways of achieving their goals. And in the second step of this, they need to choose the best fit strategy, what best fits them. So here we need to help clients to choose the action strategies that best fit their talents, their resources, their lifestyle, and of course their time and timetables. And in the third step of this, we need to help the client to craft a plan or draft a plan that will help them organize the actions they are going to take to accomplish their goals. Thank you.
These televised lectures supplement our robust online learning going on our MKU online platform. You can view more on our televised lectures via our online platform. We are in a digital era, and Mount Kenya University knows this. The following are the steps to follow so as to complete your online application. Download the application form from the website www.mku.ac.ke. Attach copies of your academic certificates and ID. Pay the application fees via M-Pesa pay bill number 270988. Your ID is the account number. 2,000 shillings is the charge for a postgraduate. You can also deposit in the bank accounts provided on the website. Then email all the above to apply@mku.ac.ke.